this is Dominic, wedding DJ.
And this is Serena, wedding planner.
And together we are the Wedding Duo. We are here to talk all things weddings.
Planning a wedding can be stressful, but we are here to help.
So before you say, that's it, we're going to Vegas, don't go to Vegas.
Let's have some fun.
Join us as we answer your wedding questions and help navigate planning one of the biggest days of your life with
the Wedding Duo. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
Here we are for another episode of the Wedding Duo podcast.
What number episode is this?
This is episode 79.
79. Creeping up on the triple digits.
Yes, we're going to get there eventually, but we hope you've been enjoying the episodes so far. Today, we're going to chat about a topic that some of you already know us for. We're going to talk about utilizing mashups, music mashups in your wedding. But first, we want to chat about like what we've been up to the last couple weeks.
All the things. Most recently, I was in North Dakota, which was a new state. I had never DJed in North Dakota. I've been there. Have you been to the Dakotas?
I have not been to either Dakota.
Either the northern or the southern Dakota. My mother grew up in the southern Dakota, so I went there every Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. Oh, we were there all the time. But to North Dakota, I'd only been there once when my college basketball team, the female team, made it to the Final Four, and they were playing the Bison, the North Dakota State Bison, I think.
And you went to watch the game?
Yes. And the week before, I had been in Daytona Beach, so I was sunburned. And then I was in a blizzard in Fargo, North Dakota. And I was like, what in the world? How am I in the same country? These extreme differences. But there you go. Yeah, that's my memory of North Dakota.
Yeah. So how was the event? I wasn't with you.
Wonderful. It was amazing. It was fantastic. There was a ton of pipe and drape in this school auditorium. Literally, basketball nets were up. But if you didn't lift your head, you would have no idea. It looked elegant. Lighting, pipe and drape can do amazing things to a room. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic. And since they were in like a small town, there wasn't a lot of options for spaces.
Correct.
So they brought in, professionals to transform this space. And that's something that we've seen done before where, in a smaller town where there's limited venues available.
Yeah. I remember her name. Her name was Carrie. Her company was I Do Weddings and Events, which was kind of a cute little name because her little thing said I Do on her shirt.
Oh, that's cute. You mean the lady that did the
her and her team did the pipe and drape. And they even did, because it was a gym floor, right? So you don't want to see the floor, the shiny like wooden floor.
Epoxy.
They had little carpet sections put down over the whole thing. So, which looked great. But for me, acoustically, oh my gosh, a DJ loves a carpeted room.
Yeah, because it absorbs the sound better, right?
Because we never get carpet. It may sound so good without any echo because the carpet just sucks it all in. But most places don't want carpet because clumsy people spill drinks and food gets mashed into it and all the things. That's why the hotels always have the crazy carpet because they don't want it to look
stains.
Gross because it gets stained. That's why they have all the patterns, right? The country clubs have it too.
Yep. I know.
Hotels and country clubs usually have carpet, but the venues out in the world, no, rarely.
Yeah, that's a fun fact. If you're ever at a hotel or a country club, look at the carpet and be like, why does this ugly pattern? Well, they're trying to cover up the wine stains from dinner.
They were like, who in the world picked that? Like the person that cleaned it the 500th time was like, get me some carpet that won't show the stain.
Yeah, that's such a true statement. So before that, we had a double wedding weekend, guys. And we do not do this very often, but it was manageable because we had a Friday wedding in Detroit, and Detroit is only about 3.5 hours from us, right? And then we were able to come back and do a Sunday wedding here in Ohio.
In Columbus,
yeah. And they were both just like epic parties. First of all, the dance parties were great.
Thank you very much.
Amazing couples, a lot of personal touches at both events. So if you guys go back to our very recent social media posts, you'll see a lot of videos from both events. But oh my gosh, just the sweetest bride and groom on both days. And yeah, it was wonderful.
And they did something that we'd never seen before. We have some footage of it, but we haven't put it together into a video yet. But people don't do it as much anymore. But when they clink the glasses, clink, 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 clink. Usually that means.
Oh, you're talking about on Sunday.
Sunday.
Yep.
That usually means they want the couple to kiss. I've had couples say like, our family does that. I really don't want to do it. And I've told the couple, just ignore it the first time, and then they'll try it again later. And if you just ignore it and almost pretend like I don't know what they're even trying to do and just talk to each other and pretend like you don't even hear it, they'll give up and they won't do it anymore. But if you do it the first time, you better expect everybody's going to be like, clink, 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 clink. But anyway, the wedding party had number printouts. They had little numbers, the size of a big index card, numbered 1 through 10. And when the couple kissed, they were like ranking it like judges from the Olympics.
It was so
pretty
cute.
funny. It was pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah. And so at one point, he, did a normal smooch at the sweetheart table and they rated like a 2 or a 3. And I could tell he's a competitive guy, maybe. And
Yes.
so they got up, did a full-on dip kiss in the middle of the dance floor, and then they got, their 9s. And
no, they didn't. They still were like 4 or 5. Like, wow, this is a tough crowd.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later on, he did it again. Like
maybe that's what I'm remembering.
It happened a lot over the course of the night. But we got to put that video together. I think that'd be a cute one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something new. We always love to see something new.
And share it with y'all because, you may love that idea. You may also hate it, but that's why we do all the videos we do. So we can share those ideas with you. So today, we're going to talk about something that we really know quite a bit about because you've been doing this at events for years. And now, even within our membership, it's become very popular to have us mash up songs. And so if you don't know what a song mashup means, it's taking 2 or more songs and putting them together in one track. You can take portions of different songs and there's, different ways to do it and edit it, but there's also different ways to use it at your wedding, right?
There sure is. I think it started back in the day. It was usually bride and dad wanted to do a silly dance or groom and mom wanted to do a silly dance. But we started doing this whole thing with these songs going down the aisle thing. And I started suggesting, do an instrumental version of the song the bride wants to come out with, and then start with that. And then when the bride's turn, you switch over to the lyrics. Yes. And that became its own thing as well, which is really fantastic. It's a really great, simple, elegant, cool way to tie together the processional music at the beginning of the ceremony, basically.
Right. And so something we want to touch on that's kind of like something you may not know is that if you're hiring a professional DJ, right, they may not want to use one track. And this is hard for us
myself included.
Yeah. This is hard for us to express sometimes on the posts because people will comment and they'll say, I want that track, right? And we try to explain like, well, if you hire a DJ, they may want to have both tracks so that they can do the timing properly and describe why that is.
For example, very commonly, the last person to go down the aisle before the bride is
the flower girl,
or the ring bearer, or both together, let's say.
The littles.
They're little. And if they're under 4, and sometimes we've seen some that were like 2, like little babies, right? Mm-hmm. And they walk down the aisle fine at rehearsal. Now there's 200 people staring at them and adults get nervous. This poor kid is going to be in therapy at 6 because they're like, hey, baby, go down the aisle. I was 2. But my point is, if I'm looking down at my song and I see the counter and I've got 30 seconds left, I'm like, come on, sweetheart, you can do it. And then she just freezes. People are waving at her. Serena has stepped in and helped push the little doo-doo. Come on, you can do it. Get them started.
Many times.
Or have them point to grandma who's at the end of the aisle, which is a good idea to have somebody that person knows at the end of the aisle on the inside that can say, come on, because they see somebody they know, they'll run down the aisle. It's super cute. But as a DJ, I'm like, I'm almost out of song, right? Meaning I need to loop that song to keep it going until the flower girl gets to where she needs to be, or whoever it is. Maybe the bridesmaids are just spread out too far, or the wedding party is spread out too far. Whatever the scenario is, if that song is almost up and it's all on one track, that bride song may start and it ain't time for the bride yet. So my point is, like, you could miss that moment, and it's like you can't have it wound that tight. There needs to be a little more flexibility. So if you have a professional DJ, tell him or her, this is the song for parents, this is the song for the wedding party, this is the song for the bride, and that bride song needs to start when everyone else is ready, and it's time for the bride.
Right, exactly. But we do understand that there are events that happen without a professional DJ. And so someone's plugging in the phone and you're just like, hit it and go. Yes. And so in that case, it may work for you to have one track, honestly, because you can have your friend or your cousin or whoever, just start the music and then everyone can walk to the same song. But what we would recommend is that if you're able to download it beforehand, whether it's from us or you get it somewhere else, you need to practice the timing, because as he just mentioned, you don't want that bride song to start and not everyone else has processed so that you miss the moment that you were trying to achieve. So
it can be done. It can be absolutely be done. But yeah, you need to rehearse that a couple times and time it out. Ideally on site in the same space you're going to be using it for the ceremony.
Right.
You might think it's like, oh, it's a little bit awkward. Like everybody got up there and there was still 30, 45 seconds before the bride started. That is better than the opposite, right?
True.
It'll build the moment. That's not too long, even if it's like a full minute. But the thing that'll work in your favor is one of people's most common nervous reactions is to talk fast and to walk fast. So people, it usually goes faster on the day of because people get nervous. Everyone's watching them. They go, get me out of the spotlight. Brr, and they run up there. So it almost like if you rehearsed it and there was only like 20 seconds before the bride's song started, if I was a betting man, I would say you'll probably have 35, 40 because people will just walk faster, right?
Right.
But either way, like I said, more is better than not enough. So there you go.
And to add to that, something else that we have done, and you may have seen, is we will add a voiceover. And most recently, we did one, and I won't get into too much detail because I don't think her event has happened yet, but it was actually the children coming into the relationship, both his and hers. Their voices were on the track before the bride was meant to make her entrance. And so, obviously there's some timing there too, but oh my gosh, it's so powerful, right?
Well, the timing is, let's start first with the bride's voice, because that's been the one we've done the most, right?
Okay.
And usually it's, everyone gets up there, right? Especially the groom. We want the groom up there for sure. And he settles in, and they're like, okay, we switch to the song. And the groom, sometimes it's a surprise. Usually it's a surprise to the groom.
Yes.
Or the person that you're marrying that's already up there. Sometimes one parent will know, but sometimes the bride has just sent it to me and like, here's what I want to do. And the song starts and he's like, okay, here she comes. And before the lyrics start, during an instrumental part of the song, here comes her voice.
Oh my God.
Like, babe, we finally made it. I'm so excited. We're finally here. Whatever it is that they say. I've always known you were my person. This is the moment we waited for. Here I come. Get ready. Whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, if people are holding it together at that point, forget it. Forget it.
Because it takes you by surprise. I mean, even myself who knows it's coming, it is such a powerful moment when the bride is standing there behind those doors, just waiting to come down the aisle. And, he's up there and there's so many emotions and feelings at that point. It just is, it's incredible. And so obviously, like we mentioned with what we've been discussing, there's timing involved with that. Oh gosh, can it be just blow you away?
You're usually behind the doors with the bride. I'm usually in there with all the guests and the groom, and I'll start that track, right? And there's just like a quick second, like a nanosecond where everyone's like, who's talking? Like, and it takes a second, like something's wrong.
Yeah.
And then they all realize, oh, that's her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, here it comes. But the kids, I mean, talk about just kick them in the heart, right? Like, this is brutal.
I mean,
so sometimes it's their kids, but like I said, the one we just did, it was her son talked first, then it was his daughter, and then it was her, and then it was their kid, I think. So 3 different ages, all, elementary aged. And it's a little bit longer because I usually tell the bride, if you're going to record something to put onto a track for that moment, 30 seconds should be about your limit, right? Because I mean, it's beautiful and time will stop and people will be listening to it, of course, but less is more. Some of them really short, like 5 or 6 seconds. Do you just want to say something sweet?
Yep.
But most brides get a little bit more in there, somewhere between that 15 to 20 second. That's like your sweet spot, but try not to go over 30 seconds. If you are recording it, most of your cell phone will have a recorder, and that usually works great if you're trying to get it to your DJ to put it into a track or something like that. Best to be in an environment that is, like we said before, carpeted, drapes, like closet with clothes is good. That's a great environment. Under the covers, honestly, is really good.
For the sound quality.
So it comes through crisp. The bathroom, in the shower, in the kitchen, not
Who's
good.
going to take their phone and record in the shower?
Opposite. Some people are like, you sing in the shower. It sounds great acoustically. But that's not the same as when you're trying to talk and you want it really crisp. So those are the good environments. And like I said, you can save it as an MP3, MP4, whatever the track is. You can email that to your DJ or send it somehow. So talk to your DJ first.
I was going to say, don't offer this service on behalf of other DJs.
Yeah. Check with him or her, and see if they can do it.
Yeah. And we offer that service too. So if you aren't able to get it through your own DJ or whoever's handling your music, we would be happy to do that for you. But to his point, you want a good quality, shorter, sometimes, most times is better. But when it was the kids, you mentioned that it was a little bit longer because each of them talked for about 15 seconds, right?
Well, let me finish one more thought on the brides thing. It doesn't have to be one take. Sometimes the brides are like, oh, you said something. It was like, it was going really well. And then you got choked up, your voice cracked, something, you sneezed. I don't know. But you can do it in like sections. You can say like, here's like something you're trying to get out and you get that because it might be too much. It's too hard. Because even recording it, you will get emotional, right? Like, gosh, as I'm building the track, I'll hear these tracks and they come through and I'm like trying to put it in the song and I'm like, this is so good. It's so beautiful. I get emotional all the time. It's hard. It's so hard, especially the kids. Oh my gosh. So it doesn't need to be one big track. You can send it to like I've had couples or I've had brides send me stuff like, here's the 3 parts. I tried to get it together. Here's part 1, here's part 2, here's part 3. And I'm like, I got it. I can take those tracks and I can work with them individually, or you can do it all in one, but it's hard. It's a big ask. So if you're trying to do it and you just give up, like don't give up, just do one, because we do that with TikToks all the time.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you've ever edited anything, a video, you can chop it up and put it together.
You're like, oh, it was going good. And then I lost my train of thought. And you're like, but it was so good. So then like, okay, well then pick it up where you lost your train of thought, right? So the kids, it tends to be a little bit longer. Same thing with the kids. Have them come in there. The one boy, you could tell like the mom hadn't heard it until she got it back. She said, take my phone, go in there, say what you want to say. He'd written it out. She was like, I'm so proud of you. But it was really good. And I was, it's going to be just tear jerking.
Spectacular. So, that's a lot of the ways we try to use these types of tracks in your wedding ceremony.
Oh, I have another example.
Oh, you do?
Yes, because the groom really close to his grandparents, like really close, right? They couldn't make it to the wedding. They were alive. They were fine. All well,
I remember
they were too far away.
Yep.
They recorded their voice and that was in the track. So as it was started, it was like, we're so proud of you to see the man you've become. Then grandpa said something and then grandma came back on and said like, get ready, here she comes, in a very fun, silly grandma voice.
So cute.
It was, I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, there's no end to what how creative you can get to put the voices in there that you want in there. I mean, you don't want to like have everybody they've ever known do it. And
maybe you do, but that's long.
Well, getting back to real quick, one more thing. If you have like your babies are little and they say something, because the one girl I made the mistake of replying back like, hey, the track came through. I couldn't really understand what it was. And she was like, oh, well, that was the baby. That's how the baby said, I love you. It was like, and I'm like, but the person that was hearing it, the groom knew that's what that was. Right. And they will remember that track forever. They'll have his little voice on that thing forever. So even if it's like, this is inaudible, no one will understand what he's saying. Like the two of you will know. And that's a target audience, right?
Absolutely. You know what I'm remembering? This is totally kind of off subject. Remember when we made the track for my dad for Christmas? We did You'll Be in My Heart, right? Phil Collins, because my dad's a big Phil Collins fan. And so we had the kids record something, talk about Papa, and we did it too and sent it to him for Christmas because my dad, like, he's a bachelor. He's, got money. Like, he doesn't need stuff. Like, we were like thinking like,
but he loves his grandkids.
And oh my gosh, it was so special. Like us hearing it, and then we had him play it while we were like on a video call, and he couldn't even talk. It was so like
there you go. There's something else if you're looking for a unique Christmas gift for
oh my gosh,
a grandparent. Find a good song, put the kid's voice in it. Ooh, geez.
It's just really special just to have that memory, right? Like, and keep that with you to listen to at any point. You may not listen to it regularly, right? But
there's one other example that I have that I've got the track, but I haven't done it yet. And it's going to be challenging, but the bride's father has passed away. She has an old voicemail from him that I'm going to put at the end of the song because she's dancing with her uncle and her brother.
Right.
They're going to split up the song. But at the end, it's going to be in the instrumental part of the song. And it's really short, but it's his voice from a voicemail he'd left for her.
Yes.
Whew. I was kind of like, are you sure? Like, of course, I would never tell you no, but I go, that is going to be
a heavy moment.
Heavy. Yeah. And I mean, and again, it's really quick, but it's going to take people a moment. But I mean, obviously her whole side will recognize his voice immediately.
Yeah.
I probably will MC it and say, you'll hear a voice at the end, or I'll ask the bride for sure. But that's usually what I usually do in that kind of scenario, just so people kind of appreciate like what's happening. Otherwise they'll be like, wait, what happened? Why is that track why is somebody talking? Like, they may not understand.
Or maybe emceeing it after so that they understand who said it.
I'll check. That's always something I could do it either way. I think either way would work. But yeah, there's one more thing people, and obviously we have the ideas and we kind of help guide through it. But I'd never even thought about that. But I was like, whew, that's
very special
heavy
for them.
duty.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something more fun. Like the parent dances.
Yeah. So, as we mentioned at the beginning, this kind of all got started when it was really popular to do mashups for like parent dances, or we've even seen it done for like your first dance, where you're going to take, a lot of times it starts with like a typical spotlight dance song, whatever the sentimental songs are, a slow dance. And then the track shifts into the wobble, or, what other ones do they do? The Superman thing.
Soldier Boy, or I've done Ushers. I've done I Want to Dance with Somebody, Dancing Queen. I mean, you name it. Every song, the wobble for sure.
Well, because what they do is they practice a routine, right? So something we recommend if you have an idea to do this is that you obviously get the track done ahead of time. This is not something you would want to like wing it, because
it doesn't go over as well. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard if you haven't practiced.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't just like go, I mean, you could, but you get what we're saying, right? It's like you want it to be more of a performance. And if you're going to perform something, you would usually practice. So,
and that's why it's something because if somebody talks about that at a meeting, like usually it's the initial meeting, like, hey, me and my mom, the groom is like, me and my mom, we're thinking we're silly. We don't want to just do a traditional dance. Like we want to do something fun. I'm like, okay, here's what I need. What song do you want to start with? Because what's really fun, maybe you start with
My Wish,
and it starts for like up to the first chorus. And then there's, you can do a record scratch, but I'll talk about that in a minute, whatever. And then you jump into whatever that song, and then you jump into the next song, jump into maybe a third song. And then what's cute is to go back to My Wish or back to the original song. And the two of you come back together and just finish that last verse like nothing had happened. It's really kind of a cute way to and then the two of you can be dancing like, oh my God, that was so good. Or I missed my mark. You're like, oh, nobody noticed, whatever. But I've had it where there were 7 songs that they jumped into. I feel like that's a bit much. I don't know. Because people was like, it's cute.
Okay, you can,
and they're kind of like, it's still going. I mean, plus that's a lot to remember.
It is.
Make it easy on yourself, right?
Right. Absolutely. I mean, you can obviously do whatever you want, but just in our experience, it can kind of go on for longer than guests are wanting to pay attention. And that goes for like the toasts and speeches. We've talked about that before too. Yeah.
I mean, it's your day. Do whatever you want. And if you and mom have got those mad skills and you want to show them off, absolutely do it. But again, it's really usually what I say is like, tell me what song you want. And if you want them in a particular order, some people just say, here's 3 or 4 songs. What do you think? And I'm like, okay, well, I usually take it upon myself to find the good spots, unless somebody says, I want Ushers, from 103 until 125. And then I want to go into Dancing Queen from the beginning to 26 seconds. And then I'm like, you can be that specific. And I'm like, that's
sure.
Or they can just say, here's the songs we're thinking, do your thing. And then I usually send it back to them and say, do you like it? And they were like, can you give me a little less wobble and a little more cha-cha slide? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, but that's kind of the gist of it. And instead of a record scratch,
I know what's coming.
Yeah. So this is like very fun. This is something I like to do. You're welcome to pitch it to your DJ if you want them to do that for you. Also, you can put a record scratch in there. It's kind of cute. People like it. It's a very traditional thing to do, kind of fun thing to do, silly. But I like to make it sound like the track is like corrupted or cutting out. So it's like, my wit for you, and I start doing that. In addition to that, I like to try to be like away from my booth. Usually I go down, and maybe if this is the bride and her dad doing their dance, I'll go down next to the mother of the groom, like well away from my booth, sometimes a little bit across the dance floor. And I'm talking to mom, like saying, hey, your dance is next. When they're done, I'm going to invite you out, which I would have already told her that. This is not something I would normally do. I don't do it in the middle of the dance. Usually I don't leave my booth at that point, but I want to be away from my booth. So when it starts to cut out, bride and dad kind of start slowing their dance and looking around. And I kind of make an obvious run back to my booth, kind of scurrying. And I look at them like, sorry. And by the time I get to the booth, it's like, dun, 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 dun. And it's gone into Usher or whatever. And the two of you jump into your routine. Everybody's just like, oh man, they were just hook, line, and sinker.
They bought it.
And ran with it.
But it scares everybody is what the point is. Like really everyone's freaking out. Like, oh my God, DJ's not at his booth. The song's cutting out. It's a disaster. He came so highly
recommended.
It's a disaster. And that's all part of the plan.
It's all
right?
part of and then afterwards, I had a father of the groom come up to me one time. And he was just like, he goes, man, that was on purpose. And I'm like, yeah, what do you think? You think I screwed up? But he was like, man, I was so upset. And I'm like, Exactly. So, I mean, again, you don't have to do all that. That's quite the
No,
charade,
it's quite the performance, but it's just something fun to like throw people off. And, if you have that type of personality and you want to do something to kind of like gotcha
memorable
to your guests,
too, right?
Yeah.
I was just like, man, remember that time at your wedding you did that thing? Oh, geez.
Yeah. So really, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And all of this to be said, like, we're also advocates of, being in the moment. So when we talk about dances, like your first dance, parent dances, that type of thing, it is also okay to just pick a regular song and just dance to it, not take dance lessons. It doesn't have to be choreographed, so there is no right or wrong way to do this, but we've worked with so many couples. And I think what stands out for us the most is every couple's personality is different. Like the way they want their event to go or the thoughts they have on these special moments are very different and unique. And so you need to figure out like what works for you as a couple, like what you're comfortable with. And, if something like this sounds fun, great. If it sounds awful, then that's probably not the choice you're going to make.
It's really, I've had couples too that had best intentions of doing something like this. We put the song together and then they were just like, it's just, we didn't have time to do it, whatever. Like, we're just going to do our song. And it's such a perfect moment anyway, your first dance. I'm always, people are all in on that, the song, the lyrics, and the two of you just sit there and sway and sing the song back to one another. Because I've seen a lot of videos lately where they're like, you're doing it wrong. You have to have this choreographed thing. That is a big moment. You have to take dance lessons. I go, oh my God, no, please. If you're not dancers,
you don't have to.
And you don't want to because that'll take away from the moment for sure. If you're like, we got to remember the routine. Okay, we walk in. Once we get to that spot on the dance floor, we do a twirl, especially if you're not dancers. If that's not your thing and one of you are not comfortable there, that could be such, I don't know, a deterrent from the moment, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because you can get up in your head, right? Like that, this is not what I want to be doing, but I feel forced or I feel like obligated to do so. Like that's not cool. Let's talk about something.
Wait, I was going to say, you hear dance instructors everywhere like, shut up. I'm like, I'm not
sorry,
trying to
we're
hate
not
on
hating
any industry.
And I love dance classes for couples if they are like all about it, right? Like they want to go and get more comfortable. They want to learn a few steps or a whole routine. It's really just about your comfort level and who you are as people, right? Everybody's different. So
and just tips like how to hold your frame, how to do just a dip, how to do a twirl. You can just put in some simple stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And it's still natural. It's just when you get the whole routine, sometimes if you're not dancers.
Let's talk about a mashup that is not our favorite. Okay. And when I say that, I'm talking about when you're doing
I don't know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
I think you're going to agree with me here. When you're doing introductions and they want you to mash up individual songs for each either wedding party member or pairs. And why is that?
Well, I mean, that wouldn't be one track anyway. That would be the same thing as the timing. It's like if I say somebody's name and they come on the dance floor, but they stop and they chug a beer or they do a dance routine and they're not even all the way in the room yet. And then the next couple is already, their song is started. I mean, you can see how you'd be just completely backed up and the wrong people would have the wrong song and you couldn't get in the room quick enough. So,
well, what I'm talking about, guys, is like when you're going to do your introductions and the wedding party comes out, sometimes we've gotten the request that like each individual couple or individual person is going to have their own section of a different song. And you can imagine that this is just very short period of time, right? So
very short.
The reason this isn't maybe a great idea is people won't have time to even recognize what the song is and you're on to the next person. You're on to the next song, right?
Well, I've had couples that have said, we want to come into the room to this song and then switch to this song. And even that, like the crowd erupts, I'm announcing like, here they are, husband and wife. And so it just gets muddled. So I'm under the belief to pick one song, especially for the couple. But to your point, if you can imagine what the DJ has to do at that point, I've got names, sometimes first and last names of all the people in the category, how they're coming in, usually in the order. And now I have a song with each person, right?
And sometimes they want a specific part of each song.
Almost always.
They don't want the beginning.
You want the chorus because, like I said, you only get a little tiny bit of the song. So I have to have the song queued up for the person that's coming in, the next song queued up for the next person. While the first person's coming in, I have to get the third song queued up for the third person all the time, making sure, looking up, seeing where they're in the room, making sure that I'm at the right spot in the song. And then I have to be on the mic like, help me welcome the best man, Jonathan. Hey. And he comes in. I'm like, crap. I mean, it is, I've done it many times. It is a big ask, and it's yeah, it can be.
It's a lot, and so
it's not impossible.
It isn't, and you do it very well. I've never seen you like.
Thank you, but
mess it up. But I know that it's hard, and so if you have maybe a DJ that's less experienced with this type of thing, that's going to be a lot for them. I'm just going to put it out there. Like that's a lot to ask.
I will literally have like couple one, sexy and I know it, and I'll have like 107 because meaning I try to like click at the spot and then transition over to that song. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then still not screw up because there's been times I've looked up like, and I'm looking at my music and I look up and I'm like, wait, is the next couple coming in or is that the couple I just announced?
Right, because you're doing so much at that time.
You're not paying as much attention to what's happening on the dance floor as you are to your computer and to your notes and to the name because first and foremost, I don't want to screw up somebody's name, right?
Absolutely. That's not fun on the mic. I say absolutely a lot. You guys, if you listen to this podcast, I just realized like I say it all the time. I need to like eliminate it from my vocabulary.
Absolutely. You set me up for that.
I really did. But this is why, honestly, I don't watch the episodes or listen to them after because I will be so critical of myself and want to go back and like pull the episodes or like redo them. I just have to let them out into the world.
I try to like watch them sometimes. We're sitting in the room. I'm like, put them on the YouTube and pull it up and just so you can be critical of yourself and kind of where you can improve. And you do great. That's great.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
The people seem to like them. This is your chance to say she does great.
Very sweet. Well, guys, this has been fun. We hope you've gained some little nuggets of wisdom or ideas. Maybe you hate everything we talked about, but the good news is we're going to talk about something new next time, right?
You know what happens? You get like a spark and you're like, I hadn't thought about that. And then it starts to roll around in your brain and then you start getting more ideas. Then you bring it up to your fiance and they're like, oh, what a great idea. And then here we are.
Yep. Yeah. That's
6 months later, like you're learning some silly routine to do on your first dance. It can be really fun. But again, if it's too much, like don't have it detract from your day. That's the moral of the story.
What do we always say? Because
it is your day. I always say, don't let somebody talk you into something you don't want to do, like we're trying to do, or talk you out of something you have your heart set on. It's your day. Just do you.
Yes. And if you guys don't know already, follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Our website is theweddingduo.co. We have our membership, lots of resources for you guys. So
all the playlists of all the songs and all the categories you're probably looking for are there.
We'll see you next time.
Peace out. Let's blow a kiss. Ready?
Happy wedding planning. Mwah.
Bye. Hey, so thanks for listening to our podcast. If you found any of this information helpful and you know someone who may be engaged or is a maid of honor, maybe you could tell them and share it with a friend.
Absolutely. So screenshot this episode, share it on Instagram, on Facebook, and tag The Wedding Duo. We promise to share the love back. Also, if you are interested in more resources or the show notes, you can go to theweddingduo.co. We have one-on-one virtual sessions, a shop, all sorts of fun stuff. Check it out.